Good morning and welcome back to Almus Market Mornings. Yesterday, I mentioned that the RBI was teasing investors in a classic case of show the exit and then shut the door. Well, yesterday they kept the door wide open as USD INR convincingly broke the 91 mark and is slowly inching towards 92. Globally, we had the World Economic Forum in Davos yesterday, where President Trump made strong but reassuring statements. He said that the US needs Greenland for international security, is seeking immediate negotiations for its acquisition, and will not use force. He also said that the tariffs announced over the weekend on the 8 European countries would not be imposed under a future framework deal. Post this, gold, silver corrected sharply, US stocks jumped to session highs, and the dollar strengthened. Good morning, Pankaj sir. What is your take on the statements made by Trump yesterday? And could you also throw some light on the current situation of gold and silver on the MCX?
Hey, thank you, Eshan. Thanks for this opportunity to join your session or podcast, Almus podcast. Uh, let me start with the Trump energy. Yesterday, I think Trump was speaking first his speech and then the statements and then the interaction with a kind of journalist over there. He spoke almost 90 minutes with full energy. So I would say that he's man on the mission. I don't know whether mission is right, wrong. I won't go on that. But really got inspired by his energy level. Now look at what all he has covered during his speech. He asserted American dominance. He demanded control of Greenland. He criticized European allies. He backed down on a tariffs. He clearly said that I had a meeting with a NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, and basically he said that he will not be going on a tariffs. He also used the no force place that I don't want to use force. I won't use force, but I would be unstoppable if it required to be. I will be taking Greenland some form and fashion. He criticized NATO. He criticized Europe. He said NATO has been very unfair to the US. All those things. He even criticized energy. Means basically he says that the renewable energy is a new scam. He's not more appreciating those kind of energy sources. He spoke about how US is doing very well, how inflation has been defeated. He covered why Powell should be fired out, or maybe if he's not fired out, he's not doing his job. So we will definitely replace with the new people. Amazing energy he covered yesterday. But what we look at, the overall theme is that US first, and when US grows, when US do well, everybody else will also do well. That's the kind of a new statements which are coming from US, and even Howard Lutnick, a great senior person in the Trump administration, wrote an article in FT. He says that we are on the mission, and whenever we do well, the world will be doing well. And he's saying globalization has not helped anybody, and we should be looking out what else can be done. The another theme which we can speak about, whether it's a repeat of a taco back, Trump always chicken out. After so many days of a continuous rhetoric threats to the system, to the world, saying that I will be attacking to take Greenland back, I'm imposing tariffs. He actually really backed out yesterday. Uh, Another thing, what we will be looking at from a Trump's statement later on that there was no military option in Greenland based upon the understanding I will be not imposing tariff. That's another thing. What happened after that, as you have already covered, Isan, US dollar strengthened a little, precious metal corrected. I don't know how long it will be staying lower, because the moment we see today morning, they are back on a bidding side. We are above 4,800 on a dollar on a gold, 4,800 Troy ounce per ounce. I have not covered one thing. He has also covered Putin and Zelensky. Both of them want a deal, but I don't know why they are not dealing. So there would be definitely something coming on a Zelensky and Russia, or basically Russia and Ukraine. I am reading today morning that there is a good chances of again there's a statements, or there's a kind of a statements from Israel press. that there are some sense of a US again attacking Iran, and Israel wants to looking at the options how they will be taking care of whenever the Iran put up a something which is kind of in a return of a US attack. So there's a US Russia, US Iran is also cannot be ruled out. The another speech on which which Trump reacted and responded was a Mark Carney speech. A day before, Mark Carney, Canadian Prime Minister, has also given a speech, and that is very important to look at. Is the speech that he said that Carney said that the end of a rule-based international order is happening. The stronger power are using their power. In that response, Canadian PM also said that the middle power, like us, like Canada, should work together to counter the rise of a hard power and the great power rivalry in order to build more cooperative and resilient world. In response of that, Trump said that Canada gets many freebies from the US and should be grateful. Carney's speech, so he was not so grateful. Canada lives because of a United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements. So basically, US is all over. They want to kind of a show off their supremacy. How long it will go on, I don't know. But till that point of a time, geopolitical concerns are there. Uh, Precious metals probably likely to have a kind of a all corrections. All dips will be bought in. On India, also Trump made a statement that India and United States will have a great deal very soon, a very good deal. Trump also commented that Modi is a great friend, is doing very well with us, and we will announce a very positive deal. Coming back to the Indian market, there was a equities was a kind of a it was a gyrating up and down. I think it closed almost in negative, but there was a Nifty was a down around 300 points and then moved back. Rupee, which hit a new low yesterday, 91.70, and RBI was not there at all. There's just some kind of a fixing related demand was there in last 1 or 2 days. Uh, we expect that it would not be crossing 92, and in 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 coming days, and exporters would look to increase their hedge ratios. But overall, rupee weakness is likely to persist. It's not going. Rupee is not likely to be uh, stronger. 90 half is a very good support for dollar rupee. In in this 20 days of this calendar year, we have already seen a $3 billion of outflow. Another important thing which I want to cover today is Indian 10-year bond yield, which is dealing at a 665, 550 overnight rates and 10 years 665. It's one of the steepest trade between the spread between 0 to 10 years is 1.15%. And the entire yield curve of India, which is around 200 basis point. So basically, overnight rate at 5.5 and 50-year bond at a 742. 200 basis point of a yield curve. It has been very, very. I have not seen these kind of a yield curve in last 15, 17 years. In the beginning of my career, somewhere in 99, 2000 and 2001, the yield curves used to be kind of a 200, 220 basis point. And Indian bonds have been bought, long bonds have been bought very aggressively during those periods, and yield curves have flattened out. Yeah. On a MCX, Isan, there is a some kind of a sense people are getting whether there is a likelihood of a custom duty getting increased from a 6%. I don't think so. It will be happening because we have moved from a 15 to 6% 1.5 year back only. And even if you increase custom duty, the gold and silver imports will find its own way. So the currency doesn't get much impact of that. They would be looking at for something else uh, for controlling gold and silver imports, but not increasing the custom duty. But markets are aggressively your domestic market. When I'm saying spot gold is quoting almost 2000 spot gold is almost quoting 2500 rupees higher than the parity import parity price of a gold, and the futures at MCX are also quoting at a annualized spreads of a 33% over the spot market. So all those are indicating something is there on the offing. Less likely if it happens, then somebody is taking advantage of this kind of info, or maybe somebody speculating in a big way. That's all from me. Thank you, Isan.
Thank you, PR. And just to summarize, Trump showed extreme energy levels, speaking for a long time yesterday at the conference about almost all geopolitical issues in the world. Whether it may be positive or negative, still all the geopolitical fronts were covered. And the tariffs imposed on the weekend on the eight European countries were backed off for now, still keeping the theme of Trump always chickens out alive in the world, and also not using the military action, but for the same. But Trump is still concrete about the fact that he wants Greenland. When it comes to India, India and US will have a great deal soon, and Modi is a good friend, is what was said by Trump yesterday, giving us some lingering hope of the trade deal uncertainty finally coming to an end. And when it comes to USD INR, rupee weakness is likely to persist as FII flows continue to stay negative in 2026, with 90.50 being a good support on the downside, while the currency pair is making its way towards 92. And when it comes to the MCX, the likelihood of the custom duties being increased in the upcoming budget on February the 1st are keeping the MCX premium at a very high level, but still not stopping investors and speculators to continue to buy at these levels. That's it from us today, and we'll catch up tomorrow with a fresh round of updates. Thank you.